Welcome back, everyone, to today's Explainer. Okay, so today we're taking a slightly different approach. We're setting a uniquely contemplative tone because the source text we're looking at is, well, it's profoundly, almost radically concise. We literally have a document in front of us that strips away all the noise, all the complex diagrams, all the excess. It's an exercise in pure minimalism, challenging us to look at the absolute root of mechanical curiosity itself. It asks the ultimate question about the very machines that drive our modern world. Let's jump right into Section 1, the engine's core mystery, exploring the underlying premise. Okay, let's dive into this. The entire piece of source material we're looking at today basically hinges on just one singular sentence. How does a car engine work? Actually, let's just let that hang in the air for a second. Think about the massive, complex weight of that everyday mystery. I mean, we sit behind the wheel, we turn a key, and boom, we go, right? Yet this text distills the immense complexity of that whole mechanical journey down to just 6 simple, highly accessible words. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how the source frames its inquiry. When you look at the formal title of the text, Mechanics of the Internal Combustion Engine, notice how those specific, really weighty words instantly elevate the whole scale of what we're pondering here. It's like in a split second, we transition from this simple, everyday question about your average car, right, into an imposing scientific reality. Moving right along to Section 2, Defining Internal Combustion, looking at the relationship between the title and the question. Now, what's really interesting here is that by placing the title and the question side by side, the text implies a direct, foundational definition, but it does it without ever actually spelling it out like some dry textbook. It essentially establishes that a car engine and the incredibly complex internal combustion engine are fundamentally, inextricably linked. It's telling us that internal combustion is the precise mechanism making the car engine do its thing. So we can clearly contrast these two layers. On one side, you've got the concept, right? The highly technical phrasing of mechanics of the internal combustion engine. But then on the other side, you have the application, the everyday, super accessible nature of how does a car engine work? Our source elegantly bridges that gap between high-level engineering and our normal daily lives. It's a great reminder that behind literally every mundane morning commute, there is an absolute masterpiece of physics happening under the hood. Which brings us to Section 3, the ultimate question, leaving the mechanical mystery open. So, the crucial point we really need to take away is just how densely packed these 2 lines of text actually are when we break down the linguistic components. Think about it. We have the underlying scientific concept of mechanics. We have the specific energy converting system of internal combustion. Then we've got the physical, tangible entity of the car engine. And finally, we have the action, the output, the literal concept of work. It's the whole shebang, packed into just a handful of words. Ultimately, this leaves us with a pretty profound realization. The inquiry remains entirely open for exploration. You know, this minimalist text proves something so fundamental about how we learn as humans. The most complex, intimidating topics out there almost always begin with the simplest, most direct questions. By deliberately withholding a step-by-step answer, the text actively sparks our innate drive to learn. It makes us want to pull things apart and actually figure out the mechanics of the world around us. Which actually leaves us right back where we started. But now we're looking at it with completely fresh eyes. How does a car engine work? I'm going to leave this exact source question with you as a final, provocative, unanswered challenge. It's an open invitation for you to take this spark, get out there, and discover those magnificent mechanics for yourself. Thanks so much for joining me on today's Explainer, and remember, always keep asking the big questions.